Alright everyone, time for our second Alt-Tech exclusive of the day, keeping in mind 2 videos a day are not on YouTube. We have to talk about the hypocrisy of the Dr. Seuss debacle. Now, I oppose book burning. Digital book burning is currently happening. We have eBay, Amazon, and so forth, and publishing houses banning Dr. Seuss books, and I'm thinking to myself, that's bad enough. In principle, the idea of, corporations, billionaires, censoring literary material that's fucking, 70 or 80 years old, because it had a racial caricature in it, and that's bad. It's funny because you can still actually order these things on eBay. eBay says that they're working to purge these 6 books from eBay. There are ways to list them without eBay knowing that they're there. Don't worry, trust me, people invent language creoles all the time. It works. Computers are not very good with them. But the hypocrisy, I think, is almost worse, which is that you've got a situation where Amazon, eBay, and so forth, they'll say these Dr. Seuss books are obscene or taboo. They're verboten, so you're not allowed to sell them. The publisher says we're not going to produce them, and so now they're limited edition, which makes them, by default, you add another 0 to their value, roughly. The hypocrisy, though, is worse. The hypocrisy is that you can still get communist insignia on eBay. That's perfectly fine. Communism representing tens of millions of deaths over the last century. Such virulent bigots as Joseph Stalin, Che Guevara, Pol Pot to an extent, totally allowed. You can have a T-shirt that says "Praise Pol Pot." You can sell Che Guevara hoodies. Che Guevara being a literal racist, an extreme bigot. All of the caricatures and propaganda of the Soviet era, often with an ethnic tinge to it, by the way, that's perfectly allowed. Propaganda poster from World War II or from the Korean War era depicting, Americans putting babies on bayonets or something, that's fine too. Violent imagery is fine. Sexualized imagery, all of that, things that the average person would probably find obscene, which, by the way, I also don't believe in banning, even if I hate it. Those things are fine. But Dr. Seuss is not. A bunch of kids' rhymes. They cater to the 4 to 8-year-old demographic or some shit like that. That's not allowed because it had a couple of, like the Mulberry Street one, it had a picture of a person, ostensibly a Japanese individual, with the big glasses and the buck teeth and stuff, sort of looking like me, I suppose, to some of my detractors. By the way, I'm not actually part Asian. I might be part Abenaki. That might be where it's coming from, I'm well aware of my appearance and don't care. I don't do too much to make myself look more normal. Dr. Seuss, comparatively, and I hate doing the comparison games, it's like, you shouldn't have to compare it at all because all censorship is buttfuck evil. But let's compare a couple of Japanese person caricatures, or someone who's black and they have like big lips in a Dr. Seuss cartoon or something like that. Let's compare that to the kind of things that are still perfectly available on eBay or on Amazon and stuff. Fucking dragon dildos and communist insignia and stuff. I just ordered a bunch of pins from the Soviet Union. Most people probably wouldn't realize this, but I actually have a collection of, they had these like really cheap, through the 70s through the 90s especially, a lot of these little cheap zinc pins that they issued. Like you could get little pins as an award for volunteering, for doing certain work, for being at a certain place at a certain time, for praising the party enough, for going to a commemorative event, some parade or something. Probably tens of thousands of these fucking pins. Anything related to space or aquatic stuff like ships, that's what I'm most into. Like cosmonaut shit. It's just sort of a thing for me. I got a bar of soap from the early 1980s made in Soviet Latvia. I treasure it. I don't think I'd want to wash with it. Although I did use some Avon Honeysuckle 80s era vintage soap. It's not bad. It's not even like spoiled or anything. Sometimes, because I think soap's a colloid, correct? So it can get all fucked up and rancid and messed up. And with the Soviet soap, it was probably kind of messed up to begin with, let's face it. I think they were hand-cut as well, because it's not quite even. It's called Spodra, and apparently the company still exists. Only communists don't run it anymore. Probably anti-coms do. But the hypocrisy of being able to get, literal Soviet propaganda, poster from fucking North Korea, if you can manage to get a hold of one, fucking Venezuelan t-shirt or something, or Che Guevara or any of these other things, and not being able to get a fucking Dr. Seuss book. The hypocrisy is pretty stark. It's not even humorous at some point, because it says culture's gone completely nuts. I love it when they're saying, well, the only people that have a problem with this are people that are kind of stuck in the past. What are you talking about? All the other Dr. Seuss books are there. You just have a problem with a couple of the pictures in the books. You don't even have a problem with the message. Wait until they try to cancel The Grinch That Stole Christmas. Well, it portrays stereotypes of Northern European people as being virtuous and generous, and the Grinch is a different color, so it must be a racial caricature. That's number one. And it's got animal abuse. You know, he's making his dog pull his big-ass sleigh. And it's about Christmas. Well, that's not very inclusive. Why isn't it the Grinch who stole Chris Mahana Kwanzaa, or the Grinch who stole Festivus? Somebody should fucking make that. It'd be the best goddamn cartoon ever. Make it a stereotype about social justice warriors and watch them screech autistically about it. That's about all. Peace out.